from the professor's granddaughter. I'm like, oh no, it's the Magnolia effect, but the cerise as well.
I
Okay,
think
I
Yeah.
think
what I personally,
I gotta say
just from that
this
one
real
Hey,
quick.
episode we
Mediana,
got, yeah,
The
join us,
Emperor
bro.
girls.
Join us.
They are the Emperor girls.
Wait, who?
yeah, the Yamper Girls. I think a Magic Girl spin-off episode.
Oh gosh, yeah.
What is it, Sailor Moon?
It's the Lol and Fresh trio, but in Galar.
Goggles, does Media not have the Poke Chat role?
Wait, what?
Media not have the Poke Chat role?
He should have the role.
I don't see him. Hang on, I'll type that out. Let's move.
Yeah, it's
But I was going
Continue.
to say, though, going back to what I was saying about Kaharu, just from that one episode we got, I actually think her goal is going to be something more modern. Like, I don't know, just some kind of career like that you'd expect from a normal person.
Yeah, that's what Izzy was saying.
I
Him
mean,
Izzy did like this
analogy, but like Gohan
video.
from
We
Dragon
did this.
Ball Z.
Yeah, I watched it.
Like,
Red Rose, please. Let's not have that.
I can see like her goal being a Pokemon photographer because of new Pokemon Snap. For example, she taking photos for the school's newspaper and ask her mom to edit something with the artist and all of that.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Honestly,
the art.
I could see her just not doing anything besides but nothing but Pokemon in the name. Like just I don't know, program.
She can be like
Engineer.
Alexa from X and Y.
Essentially, yeah, because
think-
Alexa is a journalist.
Mhm.
I saw her as a journalist or a traveller, like somebody who would just travel around the world, not even linked to Pokemon, just enjoying just traveling in life, really.
Well, yeah,
Instead of
because
just
there's
Pokemon all the
yeah,
time.
that makes a lot of sense because the three aspects of Pokemon are traveling, catching, and battling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
Oh
a
wow,
question
I never
real quick.
actually thought of that.
Oh, that's so true.
Oh, like May at the
Traveling.
start of
Yeah, the three
like
pillars.
May at the start of Poem, she just wanted to like see the world or something. But like
It's
yeah,
true.
I
Yeah.
can
Yeah,
sort of
but
see
we
it.
Yeah, but we cannot forget that May being a coordinator was a personal choice, while Dawn was more of a legacy that she had to be.
I don't see
No,
them.
no, I mean before
see them
her,
doing
no, before her coordinating. I mean, like May at the start, she didn't want to be a coordinator until she saw it. She
She
wanted
wanted
to
to
just
travel.
see the world.
Haru just
wasn't
ends up
very-
being a Rhyhorn racer.
I see them showing off Pokemon contests in the series, but not through Koharu.
I think
You know how-
yeah.
They're showing
I
off
definitely
every
th-
in
I would
Pokemon
love-
in this series.
I would love to
Niggas.
see Go do a contest. I think that'd be hilarious.
The contest
I think that'd be-
judges Serena.
I
I'm
think-
just kidding.
Shut up.
I think it'd be kind of cool to see, like in Sinnoh, Ash competed in one of them just for fun. Like literally, I think it'll be cool to see
No,
Ash
no,
and
no.
Go
You
compete
know
in
what
one.
they could do? You know what they
And
could do?
Zoe's gonna kick his ass.
Remember the Battle Festival? Remember this Battle Festival that they had in Kalos because of the World Championships? Imagine if
Yeah.
they do something similar in the fight area of that place from the Battle Frontier, and Ash battles the Frontier Brains from Sinnoh for the PWC.
Yeah, I
Ash
can
versus
see.
Palmer
Honestly,
rematch?
anything-
Ash
anything
versus
for us
Palmer
to fight the
rematch?
Sinnoh Frontiers, I'll be fine with.
Guys, Ash versus
I can see
Palmer
them appearing,
rematch
definitely.
with Torterra.
For Terra
No,
versus
no,
versus
no.
Hyperion.
No.
Torterra Redemption arc. This is what I've been saying.
No.
Wait, how did
Whole
this?
time.
I got a question. How did
Yeah.
I got a question. How did this go from a
I'm
Sonic
told
discussion to an
this.
Ash discussion all of a sudden?
I'm gonna say. Can I
Rose
just
has been
quickly
saying
say,
it.
people
It's
say,
bad.
oh,
We're talking about Ghost
hold
episode,
on,
but we're talking about Ash.
Well,
This is
that's the
exactly the
problem
problem.
That's a problem with
Oh,
Ghost in
it's
general.
Pikachu.
That's the
Okay.
That's the thing.
The
You know,
show doesn't know when to leave Go and Ash alone to each other. So anytime Go tries to do something, it always gets backfired because Ash appears.
That's the thing. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's still learning from Ash. So
It's a domino
The
effect.
issue
Like,
comes the
who
fact
was-
though is
who
still
said
like
that?
I'm sorry, like I get what they're going with the whole mentor teacher
Okay.
route again, but it doesn't work well.
I'm not watching the
It works
screen.
the
fine.
series is still early too. The series is still early.
Okay, I'm watching
Yeah.
the screen right now. I'm seeing Silly Cobra, and I just want to say that Jesse should have that Pokemon because it's a snake. And no one in the game, and no one in the games has a GMX Sandaconda. Imagine Jesse having
No.
a snake Pokemon that is immune to Pikachu. Perfect.
No,
Yeah.
I don't want that.
I definitely think they will
I
get.
know that this is Go and Sobble's episode, but just to clear things out, I know that people are saying that Morpeko will be Team Rockets. No, Morpeko will
No,
be
it
Ghost.
won't.
No,
I don't want
because here's the
Morpeko
thing.
to go to them.
I see there's three possibilities. Morpeko is wild and will be Marnie's. Morpeko is wild and will be Ghost because every of Ash's companions has an electric type. Or Morpeko will be Team Rockets. Here's how I think things will be. It could be Team Rockets because Mimikyu was Team Rockets, but Acerola also had her Mimikyu, so that won't invalidate Marnie from having her own Morpeko. But if Go
Yeah.
has more, if Go has
yeah.
Morpeko, it makes more sense because it's a Pika clone, and the whole Aura Wheel could help Riolu in a way because if Riolu has
Hey,
justified
the
the dark,
bracket lottery.
because if Riolu has justified the Dark Aura Wheel will no, if Riolu has Prankster, the Dark Aura Wheel will help with Lucario with justified. But here's the thing: I can see Riolu having his Morpeko. Maybe Marnie's will be a shiny. Who knows?
That'd be sick.
Possibly.
I
don't
can
wanna see
see
shiny
Jesse
Morpeko.
and James. But for Jesse and James, besides the silly Cobra, I hope that's the case. I can see Jesse and James having each version of Toxtricity.
I want Ash to have Toxtricity.
I think
Listen,
that's too
listen,
overpowered
listen,
for
listen,
them.
go back. I'm not dissing you.
Yeah,
I'm not dissing you.
yeah.
I'm
It would
not
be
dissing
Ash's
you.
first
That's
electric
You're
like
type.
entitled to
too
what
much
you
for them.
believe was might go down, but I highly doubt they're gonna get. Oh, wait, I should probably shut up before that actually does come true.
No contradiction.
I have to say though, going back to like this episode in general, I gotta say the biggest downside was that it ended up being just a normal episode where, oh look, Ash and Go are in a new area. Oh look, they found a new Pokemon. Team Rocket captures that new Pokemon. They confront Team Rocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives the vibe of like how
It's
the
very formulaic.
how it's how like Pokemon is always formula was like Ash and friends meet a new Pokemon. The Pokemon like against the fight with the set Pokemon, they run off. They want to get the Pokemon. Team Rocket get that Pokemon. Team Rocket's beating up Ash and friends. The Pokemon does something in this situation, and Ash whole friends catches that Pokemon set of the day.
Exactly.
Hey,
Exactly.
they did do a plot twist where Go caught it first.
I have
though.
nothing
That's the
against
one.
that.
Yeah,
I'm
I
nothing
was
against that. I'm just saying,
surprised
it's like,
about that.
if we're going with logic, this is like the most blandest way to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, but then again, though, if you think about it, like we haven't had many. Oh look, Team Rocket's here episodes
Yeah,
this
that's
season.
true.
Like
But,
the
like,
Team Rocket episodes we've gotten
Team
are
Rocket
solely
got an
based around
old-
Team Rocket.
I feel like the issue is that this was underwhelming for a Galar episode. You know, they
Yeah.
would think
Yeah.
Galar, that they would
Yeah.
do big things with Galar.
After this, I'm pretty sure we're going back to Kanto.
Yeah,
Literally.
And-
going back to Kansas.
And
Then
the
after
next
that,
and the next time they visit Galar, it's going to be Winden City again.
No,
Well,
I feel like next time the next time we're gonna visit Galar is Ash gonna be hearing, oh look, Leon's mentor has a dojo, and they're gonna go to the Isle of Armor.
I don't feel like this is gonna happen yet. I feel like it's too soon for that.
Listen,
Same.
Like-
listen, you
Think it's
listen.
too soon.
Ash needs to-
Rabood was too
Ash needs to-
soon. Rabood was too soon.
Ash needs to lose somebody that's not Leon first before he thinks about going to train.
Paul, please make it be Paul.
No, I don't.
I can see battling one of the first three Galar gym leaders, Milo, Nessa, or Kabu. I would prefer Kabu because Motostoke and all of that. I think that in the anime, the hero statue is in every city of Galar because it's folklore.
I feel like it
Yeah.
should be.
Yeah.
I
Also,
personally
going-
feel like what's gonna happen is they're gonna go to I don't know, just any one of the Galar cities.
I want Fresh to battle B. Farfetch
Yes,
does 3
same.
criticals on
Yeah.
Surfetch and then evolves like
I think
Torracat
it's
versus
really
Incineroar.
and then lose, and then still loses.
Yeah, I just really want to see like Go battle one of the Galar gym leaders. I don't know. I just feel like Go battling one of the starting Galar gym leaders would be a good way to like his battling skills.
I don't want to. I don't know. But from
Yeah,
Wait,
but
they
what
already-
Guys,
Pokemon
I'll-
would he use? Probably like his Cypher, Sobble,
I
Rubbo.
feel like Sobble is gonna be
He could use
like one
Messon.
of. I'm about to say, I feel like Sobble's gonna be one of Ghost battlers.
Yeah, Messon
Like-
could be one.
I mean, that's what
Picking-
we thought about Cubone, but look at it.
Yeah, but
It's
this
ve-
is a
Yeah, that's
starter
true.
though.
and that's
It's-
what we
it's-
did too. We did an episode like that before with Cubone.
No, but I'm glad that they gave Sobble to go because when the year started there was that Pokemon of the Year awards, right? And Greninja was
Oh,
the number
yeah.
one.
Oh.
I can see, for example, I can
She
You're
can
a cool
cool.
guy.
listen. I can see Greninja returning, but not forever. However,
Thank you.
I can see Greninja returning, maybe mentoring Sobble like Ash is mentoring Go to be a more stealthy and agile Pokemon. But I can personally believe that they gave Sobble to Go for this purpose, not the only purpose, but also for this purpose as well. And if Go gets Grookey, I can see if Sinnoh gets remake, Torterra and Infernape return to mentor Grookey, like Ash is also mentoring Go, because this series is more of Ash mentoring Go by showing him how things are done.
Yeah. I think
Also,
what's
The
gonna happen
problem with the
is
Torterra though is that we require
I-
Torterra to actually be good.
Yeah.
also,
No one's gonna
Go,
want to be
ne-
mentored by a
Go
loser.
needs Go needs to use the Let's Go berries and also Great and Ultra
Yes,
Balls.
I agree.
Yeah,
Or
I
like
think
weaken a Pokemon.
Just catch is getting too easy for him now.
yeah.
If they want to keep
Monster, go.
they want him to show off Pokemon Go, and they need to use the stuff from it too. Like
You need to use
hide
the
berries.
berries
I
and
would
Great
go
and
to
Ultra Balls.
battle some of these Pokemon that will give him a hard time. That's literally what you do in the main games.
Yeah, and you do that in Let's Go too, like with Snorlaxes and
Wait,
Legendaries.
those are very situational.
That's what Go is too. Like he says, I only battle when I need to.
Oh my goodness! So what,
Yeah.
you need to be in a life and death situation. Go. Do we need to hold a gun up your head and say you need to battle now? What's going to happen?
Yeah. I definitely feel like the development is good. I feel like people are judging Go too soon because let me
Hey.
remind you that we're only in episode like
The
20
hiatus
days.
too. It's the hiatus.
And the
that's doing
hiatus.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
He's
hiatus.
actually a new trainer.
Like Serena didn't get development until like episode 40. So
So she
The
won't
thing
have
with
the
Serena
best
that she
bits
did
of
and
her.
now
little
all we have
things
And-
and
that
now
took
all we have
longer
right
than
here
those.
is Serena
And
from Galar.
Max was around for 4 years and he had no development.
Yeah, but Max
Yeah,
is
but nobody
Max.
No
likes
one cared
Max.
about Max.
Yeah,
Not even
but
the
Max
writers.
is Max.
He likes Max.
I don't mind Max. He was really annoying at the start, to be honest.
Bonnie was
But
just
what was
better.
his point?
Yeah,
What
Well,
is
he
he
threw
bad?
a fit. He threw a fit because
Yeah.
his father
Babe.
lost a battle.
But yeah. But going back to like what I was saying before, like people are always like, "Oh, Go sucks. He's so." But may I remind you that Serena is exactly in this position, and now all
Yeah.
I hear from a lot of people is Serena come back, Serena come back. So I'm like,
Yeah.
they could
But
totally pull a 180.
Zana, you speak the language of the god.
I don't know about that.
I think I see Go's like slowly making improvements because you can see like if you compare him from now to episode 1, like it's been a short amount of time, but it feels longer for us. But you can actually see Go's actually improving as a trainer. Like Ash is actually having an impact.
He's
Like,
actually
yeah.
not.
I think
He's not
he's
doing the
old.
obligatory
I'm trying
catching.
to get
I
try
haven't
and
seen
get
him do
that-
that.
I'm trying to get that video out tomorrow for you guys because I already recorded it. I just need to do some editing. Like, I go in. I try and go into detail.
Mhm.
You're lazy.
Goes
That's
development.
right.
And-
That's just the thing. You're just
You can
lazy.
do it.
Please,
I'm also-
everyone, go vote for the like what title y'all think is better. It's on Twitter.
I'm sorry, I don't have
What?
Twitter.
Die.
I don't have
Okay.
Twitter either.
Dang.
Voted, bro. Voted for the middle one, which is how Ash impacted on Go.
All right.
E media.
Oh, really?
Hey,
It's
what's
really
up,
not.
bro?
Oh my god, I remember now.
Hey, yeah.
The-
But yeah, I definitely think that there's a lot of development in for everyone's journeys. We just got to give it time because I feel like people shouldn't rush to conclusions. Like,
It's shaping up to be one of the best series because they're already breaking so many tropes.
Yeah.
And stuff.
yeah,
What I want them to do is
To be
use
honest-
Team Rocket differently because Team Rocket, right? They're either really funny or really boring, but it depends how you use them. If you use them in the typical like the way they used them in the Tom Hall episode, they weren't as funny as they
Formulaic.
would be. Like they weren't as
Loki.
entertaining.
what I like about
The
Team
smoking
Rocket is
episode
they're
was
getting their, what I really like about Team Rocket in Journeys is that they're
Literally
getting their
just
own
there to-
entries. They're getting their own episodes.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. The
Literally
minute
just
they
there
start
to use,
they're
like,
more
screen-
interesting.
Yeah.
Like how
At
You
first,
screech.
I was kind of scared for them at first. I
All
remember when they
right.
Hey, there you go. What's up, bro?
What's up, guys?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
All right. My bad. Am I interrupting something?
No, it's only about Dre.
All right. So then, what were you guys talking about? Let's keep the conversation going. I'll introduce myself a little later.
We're talking about episode 28 about Go and Sable and such
Yeah.
like that.
I feel like a lot of people share very same opinions about that episode, where it's like it was many parts were funny, but the pacing wasn't really well, especially with the fact that they caught Sable so early. But I feel like you guys probably already said that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Hey, it's all good.
It's different at least.
Do
It's
you
different.
think that Ash should have caught Sable? Or are you okay with Go catching Sable?
So on my channel, so this episode was actually really funny for me because on my channel I made predictions a little while back of how the way that this show is going. I personally felt like Ash shouldn't capture any of the starters this time around, especially with
I
the
agree.
fact
Thank
the
you.
one
Yeah.
defining but here's the thing, the one defining point that made that argument for me was the fact that Ash had Riolu. Now,
Exactly.
as
Yeah.
and along with not only Riolu, but the fact that what exactly is Ash's goal this time around? Ash isn't trying to win a league this time. He's not trying to battle gyms and all that. No, he's trying to win the Pokemon World Championship. He's trying to become the strongest trainer in the world. Because of that, story-wise, it doesn't make a lot of sense for Ash to capture so many first form Pokemon, with Riolu being the one exception. But the situation is Riolu, with Riolu being the exception aside from Farfetch, Riolu is obviously Ash's ace. That's what everyone is saying. That's what everyone's agreeing on, and that's what the show seems
Yeah,
to be focusing on.
Riolu will get the starter treatment, even though it's not a starter per se.
Basically, yeah.
Speaking of the
that's
starter treatment, I find it really funny how Pikachu's finally reacting to Ash Greninja like 6 years later.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't
I'm
want
saying
to
yeah, that's
Yeah.
interesting in itself. But no, yeah. So when it comes to that, whether or not Ash, because now 2 out of 3 of the Galar Pokemon have been caught. In my video, I discussed how the 2 people who should catch any of the starters this time around should be either Go or Koharu. Mainly just because Ash's goal is very clear and very set. Meanwhile, the other 2 characters who are the new characters, we need to find ways to make their characters interesting. It's the whole concept of storytelling within a show. And right now, we all know who Ash is. We know what his purpose is. We all know what his drive is. And now, he's the interesting character because he's the main character. We need to make the other characters, especially since they want to call Go a protagonist character alongside Ash. They need to find ways to make him interesting, and trying to catch every single Pokemon in the world is not interesting enough. So the best thing to do is to have them capture important Pokemon as well that will connect them. Now, the way that they treated Sobble this time around, I'll be honest, it did not make Sobble feel like a starter. It just made it feel like another Pokemon that Go caught. Weirdly enough, I feel like the 2 Pokemon that Go seems most connected to as of right now are obviously Reboot and, funny enough, Cubone.
I was gonna say the Lord, but okay.
Nah, Cubone. The reason why, because we had an entire episode focused on Go taking care of Cubone.
It's the issue, though.
And also a little bit Farfetch.
It hasn't appeared since that episode.
Around.
But where I'm going with this is the fact that Sobble, being a starter Pokemon, in the episode where it's introduced, doesn't feel like a very important Pokemon. What I'm hoping what that means is that other episodes in the future will focus more on it because it is a starter Pokemon, but there is this situation of Go not really focusing on taking care of specific Pokemon, but like, you see episodes where he's taking care of all of his Pokemon, which is great, but it also takes away the whole aspect of his relationship with certain Pokemon aside from Reboot.
Yeah. So wait, if you're saying that
quality over quantity.
Exactly. We need to find there needs to be a way to showcase that, hey, Go caught another starter Pokemon. We need to find a way to make this starter Pokemon interesting with Go, who already has a bit of a problem when it comes to, being an interesting trainer with interesting Pokemon. That's why, in my opinion, if anyone was to capture Grookey, it should be Koharu. The reason why,
Yeah.
and I know that a lot of people are saying that maybe Ash should catch Grookey because
No.
their characteristics are very similar. But the thing is, Grookey
Yeah.
would be a very good Pokemon for Koharu to have because Grookey is such a fun-loving, outgoing Pokemon, which is
It's
very
energetic.
similar to Ash. It's energetic, which will bring out Koharu's more energetic side. That's the thing that I said in my video.
I definitely
And
think
I
that
feel like
I feel like Koharu is gonna have like those interesting arcs in the series to date.
it's interesting. Right now, she hasn't had a lot of
Completely
focus, so there
different.
has to be some kind of focus.
Watch
They wouldn't have introduced the character.
Koharu will do Pokemon musicals in Unova. Just gonna do like the
Oh my goodness.
Like she's just gonna
That would-
orchestrate it.
That's got a Koharu Fortnite dances. I'm never watching the
Oh
anime
god,
again.
no. I
Swear,
that would be
if she's
funny.
not doing like hype or like the floss, I will actually make a video.
Just does the default hands on stage with like
there's
Yeah.
actually Pokemon activity that they did this Pokemon activity since Art Gold Soul Silver. We only saw in one episode. It's Pokeathlons. I could see like a Pokemon athlete being one career, but if Let's Go Johto was a thing, I don't want for that to be a thing.
Well, actually, if you guys want to hear something very interesting, and this is something that you guys actually gave me an idea for, maybe I'll make a video of this on my channel later on. But one thought that you guys put into my head that I realized is one of the main differences with this show is the fact that Ash and Go are traveling the world of Pokemon. It's not just one region now; it's multiple regions. And when they visit those regions, they either see Pokemon that are from those regions or they see events that are from those regions, right? So, in my opinion, let's say either Go or Koharu. I'm putting a little bit more towards Koharu just because that's the trope. But I wouldn't be surprised if Go, because his main thing is catching Pokemon, but he's also kind of like going on adventures, going on things with Ash. Obviously, Ash's thing is battling. That's the obvious thing. But
yeah.
and I'm not saying I'm not saying they're gonna find, oh, this is gonna be their goal in life. No. The fact of okay, here's the easiest way to explain. Imagine yourself wanting to travel the world, right? And now what do you do when you travel the world? You try things when you visit a certain region or certain country. You try different things. Like if you go to Japan, obviously you wanna try the ramen, and you wanna go to the cities, and you wanna try these things that they would do. If you go to Italy,
Sightseeing in window shop.
basically. Basically. But it's like, what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they go to certain regions. And okay, you mentioned, let's say they go to Kalos, they do the Pokemon musical thingies, or they go to Hoenn or Sinnoh, and they get a chance to go. They get a chance to try out Pokemon contests.
I
isn't
definitely
Yeah.
think
the
that
thing is.
Pokemon contests are gonna come back.
No,
I
here's the
definitely
thing.
think they are.
Well, here's the thing. I also feel like they could come back, but not in the way that people think. I don't think they're gonna be hey, we're gonna have a
Yeah.
character whose dream is to be
Yeah,
no.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be like one
This is-
They go
We're not gonna have like an
watch
entire
Exactly.
character focus to be
Entertainment.
like, I want to compete in the Grand Fest, but
A
just be
mix,
like
a
because if we get Diamond and Pearl remakes, they're gonna have to put content in those remakes. If they put content in those remakes,
There is a mini arc that I want to see. It's in Kilode City in South Kalos, because I want to see Ash battle the Battle Chatelaines, having Go visit the Friend Safari, and Koharu battling Serena and her Mega Absol, and also the
Oh my
Pangoro.
goodness.
That would be that would be interesting, but I feel like that's a bit of a stretch. Like it depends. Right now, the way that the show is
Imagine
treating-
Go in a Safari Zone. It's like, oh my goodness.
Oh,
just
no.
realized
I
something.
could totally
I could
see.
definitely, I could
I
definitely.
could totally see Go. I could
I
totally
see.
see Go going to a Safari Zone. I feel like there's definitely gonna be an episode focused on that, just because. Remember what Go's dream is. Of course, the Safari Zone was gonna be perfect for him. I feel like that's inevitable.
He's gonna
I
be
just-
banned from the Safari Zone.
I just feel like
character arcs
already
could be
banned.
really interesting.
I just feel like depending on the episodes and depending on the region where it takes place, could also depend on what it is they do and the characters they interact with, whether they're returning characters or not. So if they were to go to Sinnoh or Hoenn, and most likely I do agree that because it's the Sinnoh remakes that everyone's waiting for, it does make sense for Sinnoh. But since Pokemon Contest originated from Hoenn, like maybe
There-
it makes a bit more
There
sense
is
for it to
one
be Hoenn.
character. There is one
Wait.
character I would love to see if they made another Wallace Cup this time in Sutopolis City. I want to see Lysia and her Mega Altari.
That would be funny. That would be
Oh,
that would be pretty
also-
I would love
also-
to see.
Maybe Xenia because Eternatus is a dragon type. So
Nah.
Nah,
That's
that's a
pushing it.
No,
stretch.
that's stretching it. That's stretching it.
I think-
I don't
just
think
came up
that's-
with a cool idea.
Zinnia's
We know
but,
that
If
um,
any two regions would collaborate or come together, it would probably be
Yeah.
Hoenn and Carlos, considering they have sort of a synergy.
Yeah,
in the
I
game.
I
would
feel
say
like
though,
not if there
Ash
was
and-
going to be some kind of if speaking realistically, if there were to be some kind of collaborative contest like event, it probably would be actually Hoenn and Sinnoh, mainly just because
Yeah.
those two
Yeah.
have contests. So it makes sense for there to be some kind of. It would make sense if there was some sort of collaboration that it would be a contest collaboration between regions where we see Pokemon and trainers from both regions doing it. I don't know how that works because it makes more sense to host a contest in one region. I doubt. I don't think Hoenn and Sinnoh are next to each other, so I could be wrong. I don't think I am, but I mean, with that in mind, if contests were to come back or any of those events, where I'm going with this, I'm not talking about characters coming back. I'm not talking about any of that. It would be cool, but what I'm saying specifically is for character development, it would make sense for Go/Koharu, like specifically those two characters or one of them, to enter said contest. That would be fun and also just a little bit of character development to understand the world of Pokemon a bit better.
Yeah.
Just because for
Also-
both of their characters, it would make a lot of sense. Now, if we're talking about returning characters, I mean, there's the obvious ones, like we could see like returning companions like May and Dawn. Because of Sinnoh remakes, as you guys mentioned, most likely Dawn will make a lot of sense.
And I do feel like Dawn will be the first
But
companion.
I don't know. It's an interesting thing because there's so many things in the timeline that we don't know what's going on because the last time we saw certain characters, they had a goal set in a specific region. So like if we base it off of that, we know where some of these characters supposedly are, but at the same time we don't know. But at the same time we don't know because time has passed. We don't know if they're still
Yeah,
doing those
exactly.
journeys, if they're doing something else.
everyone, when Ash and Gil went to the Battle Frontier Island, they were saying, "Oh, Serena went to Owen." Yeah, but that was when Ash was in Alola. She's not there
Yeah.
anymore.
It is like-
Perhaps.
Well, not
So I gotta
not only
say,
that,
though,
not only
It's
that,
a
but let's
region.
also
Regions are big.
yeah, no, I get that, but let's not only that, but let's say also once again thinking of like let's think of it in a real world topic where it's like let's say I'm trying to think. Let's say Pokemon trainer Brian. Let's say he is over in Japan because I see him in the chat and I think I see him in the
Damn,
chat.
Brian.
So hey, what's up, Brian? But it's let's say Pokemon trainer Brian
Oh.
is over in Japan, right? And I take a trip to Japan, right? Just because we're both in Japan doesn't automatically mean that we're going to run into each other.
Exactly.
big
So I
place.
think-
in the same
Yeah.
city.
Literally, it's
The
so
only
So
weird.
it's
region-
totally possible.
The only
Like-
region I could possibly see like two companions like meeting each other is Alola, just because of how
small.
No, yeah,
connected
exactly.
the islands
Alola-
are.
Alola's the only region where it makes no sense for Ash not to run into someone because of the fact that everyone knows who he is. He's the Alola
He's
champion.
Yeah,
Like,
Stupid.
like-
the Alola people will be
Not
like
only-
he
not
should
not only
be
this, not-
champion.
the most famous person there.
He's also the first Alolan champion, which I don't
Yeah.
know why.
Yeah.
Something that doesn't make
Everyone
any
knows.
sense is Ash should be all over the world. He should be on every news network because he's not.
Yeah.
He,
Yeah.
he's
No, yeah,
first
I admit
Alolan
it's,
champion.
No, I can only imagine. For example, in the PWC, he's the kid who defeated the Guardian deity.
No, yeah, I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
I know that Pokemon has always had a weird thing about continuity, but it's like,
But
when
like
it
that
comes
doesn't
to
make any sense.
yes, exactly. That, like,
Yeah.
I could, I've let it slide so many times, all these times where it's like, okay, like Ash has done so many Pokemon leagues and has saved the world countless of times. It's crazy that this kid isn't freaking famous, but I'm like, okay, I'll let it slide. Then he
This
becomes the
time-
Alolan champion.
No,
And
the
I'm
first
yeah,
Alolan
and-
champion.
Wait. Let me finish real quick.
Imagine.
Where it's then he becomes the Alolan champion. And you're telling me, wait. You see Cynthia, you see Alder, you see Lance, you even see Leon
Yeah.
this season, and everyone knows who these guys are. And you're telling me that Ash walks up to Leon, and Leon's like, I'm sorry, who are you? And I'm like, what the
The
fuck?
unrefined
Yeah,
trainer.
exactly.
They
You
call him
don't
an
know who
unrefined.
this kid
But he's a
is?
little kid.
You know,
Like,
you know what?
God.
You know what I could see happen in the You know what I could see happen in the future? Rose trying to sponsor Ash, and Ash, it's reluctant
Yeah.
on accepting.
No.
And you know who could be Ash's sponsor in the PWC?
If
Scott.
he has one. If
Oh
he
my
has one.
Scott,
Yeah.
you're gonna take up my offer now, Ash?
No, that's what the idea of if sponsors are even a thing. Maybe they are. Maybe they are.
Because
I
then
don't
again,
think
though, we're
so,
not
just
doing the
because-
Galar Gym Challenge. We're doing the PWC. So
Yeah,
With
no,
that in
uh,
mind, it could be. With that in mind, okay. So here's the way that I could see things going. And for real quick before I start, guys, I'm so sorry if I'm like talking way too much. But there are thoughts and ideas that I've been having for a while that
yeah.
I
Yeah,
could share with
I
you.
just want to say one thing.
Um,
I want
Okay,
to
go
say
ahead.
one thing. Your
Yeah.
idea about like them trying new things across the world is very interesting, and also maybe come up with a genius idea for a Unova episode. This would be a filler episode. But imagine
Okay.
Ash and Go doing American football because they have the football stadium in Nimbasa City.
Oh,
Oh, God, no.
like Magikarp looking at the code, being a starter.
You can let another Pokemon get taken
You're
away.
telling me we're gonna have another Pokemon baseball episode? Like,
I would love that. I mean, I'd be down.
We
I
need
want-
more triple battles.
Yeah,
I want
I can
soccer.
see Go. I can see Go.
yeah, but what if one of his Pokemon
Go in
can be
hey,
on the
hey,
team,
listen,
though?
listen. Go in Unova with the 3 starters in a triple battle.
that would be pretty cool. I'll
Yeah,
say
yeah,
that.
yeah,
That would
let's
actually
go.
be pretty cool.
Also,
But
Ash being the
but no,
first
yeah,
Olympic
it's,
champion does not make sense.
But yeah, no. The where I'm going with this is what I could probably see going on if we really, because one thing we have to keep in mind, though this show is super different, the generation that we're in right now is the Galar generation. Obviously, that means that there's going to be a good chunk of stuff that happens in Galar or is connected to Galar. So if they want to bring in that aspect of the whole sponsor thing, I don't think it's going to be during the time that Ash is in the lower classes. Most likely, this will be. I feel like Galar story related stuff will most likely happen in the later half of the show.
Yeah.
Hopefully they pace it well so that it doesn't feel too rushed. But what I'm imagining,
How?
I know.
Yeah.
I don't
But
think
what I'm
that's true.
saying, but
Here's
what I'm
actually
saying
what,
with that is, what I'm saying with that
real
is,
quick, hold on, real quickly.
yeah.
I had to see them know with the story. I feel like Sonya's introduction wasn't just for nothing. Where
Yeah.
every time we go,
Honestly,
they're gonna, the next time they go to Galar, they're gonna see the big, thing in the ground, and then she's like they're running into Sonya again. She explains that, and they slowly each time they go, slowly
I wouldn't
get
be
more and
surprised.
more.
They
I
need
feel
to
like
see the
also,
they need
like,
to see the turf field
That's what,
geoglyph.
that's what I was talking about. They
Space
next time
yeah.
they go, they see that.
Yeah.
I feel like
And
that's one of the weird things
Eternatus is
where
still a wild Pokemon, so Rose hasn't caught him yet.
maybe.
Oh yeah, tournament.
It's just a weird thing where you could see that there's a couple of things where it's like I like the show where it is, but there are a couple of things that obviously could have been a bit more fixed early on that you realize as the show progresses. Like, okay, I like Sakuragi and I like the stuff they're doing, and maybe I'm in the lower minority when it comes to this thoughts, but it's like, don't you think it would have been a little bit more sense if Ash and Go happened to be working for the professor from Galar,
Or
No,
you know,
and then
or you know,
instead of Koharu, it would be Sonya.
exactly.
Not for any. And again, this isn't talking about. This isn't me being like one of those people who's like, oh, I'm a big fan of this, so I want this to happen. Like, trust me, guys. Look, I love Ash Greninja. I'm not going to be going around constantly asking for Ash Greninja. But with that being said, story-wise, as in story. No. But what I'm saying, the reason why I'm saying that is because story-wise and storytelling, this is how most likely they could have made a bit more of an interesting thing, because already you could see parts of Koharu's personality match that of Sonia's, where
Exactly.
And I feel like
could
that's for a reason.
I could
That's for a reason,
easily
though.
see Sonia having Koharu's story right now, where she doesn't know what she wants to do because that's in the game. She
Oh, hold
doesn't
on,
know
but
what she
I feel like
wants
it's
to
a-
do.
Look at Leon. Okay, so look at Leon and Ash, for example. And a lot of people said they thought that Go and Rayhan would be similar. I don't really see that right now. If they do show off more of Rayhan, he is kind of like Go. I feel like those three are like the older representations of Ash, Go, and Koharu.
Here's the problem though, right?
I feel like
That's
that's
battler.
I guess, yeah.
I guess in a
just-
sense. You know what also kind of, you know who this is going to hurt most, though, when you think about it?
Oh,
There's one character that no one seems to be talking about.
Tracy?
That has no. There's
Really?
one character. No. There's one character that hasn't shown up yet. That I know for a fact they're probably gonna get the short end of the stick once they are revealed in the show.
oh, is it how to? Okay.
Well, actually, yes, except not how, but
Yeah.
how to being.
Oh, too.
Oh, no.
It's
Like, I'm not, and the thing is, I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. I'm actually being serious here, where it's like,
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
likely, the sad truth is, a lot of the storytelling that's being focused on Ash, Go, and Koharu, all their characters are most likely going to be hit with the short end of the stick because they're either not main characters or they're just not important enough for the plot. Because right now, when you look at Pokemon Journeys and you look at the characters who are supposed to be important, we have Ash, Go, Koharu, somewhat Team Rocket, and then Leon. That's really
That's
it.
it.
And maybe
Yeah.
Sonia.
Yeah.
And then
not even the professor or the assistants are in that chunk.
I say
Yeah,
the
no,
professor.
they're-
I would say the
no,
professor,
no.
not the assistant.
even the
professor.
professor and his assistants are not important enough. The important characters that I've seen so far have been those three characters, Team Rocket because they're Team Rocket, and then Leon because he's the end goal, and then maybe Sonia because she was just announced.
I want to
So,
point
and
out.
she seems to be the character who's like pushing forward the Darkest Day arc, which okay, that's great. But that's the
this is a
thing.
s-
Other characters within Galar that are supposed to be important and stuff. Like, for example, I don't think the other gym leaders in Galar are going to be important. Like, Ash has no need to battle them. The only way I see him battling them is because they're
Bullshit.
also entering the world tournament. And
They'll
that's
be
all
characters
because they wanted
today,
to-
like all gym leaders.
Yeah.
no,
I
that's
think
the
that
thing. It's
also,
that's the thing.
also,
And
like,
no, yeah,
There's
you guys
one
talk.
thing. The thing about Hop, it's that I know that people are going to say this, like, oh, in my opinion, Hop shouldn't be Ash's rival, but he'll most likely be because of Leon and only because of Leon.
I
And
don't wanna
people are
do
going to say that, oh, Hop, it's like Sawyer. He escalated the power creep way too quickly for Ash. I could see Hop.
Yeah, Sawyer. Nah, don't use Sawyer like that. Sawyer was a great character.
I like Sawyer.
yeah.
Personally,
Yeah.
I could see Hop, Beat, and Avery being Go's rivals. Marnie, Clara, and Peony's daughter, who's soon to be named, being Koharu's rivals.
I don't know if Koharu's gonna have rivals.
I'd much rather
I don't
have
know
the-
about that.
I'd
I don't know about that
I'd
because
much rather have the poison
the
girl.
point here's the point is I don't know about that. The reason why is because if you're gonna have a rival, it's because they're rivals to your dream, and I don't see those characters matching Go and Koharu rivalry just because number one, Go's dream is to capture Pokemon. I don't think there's gonna be a rivalry with someone being like, I'm gonna
Professor
catch more
I don't
Pokemon
want
than
That
you.
that shiny hunter
That's
from
maybe.
the 14 is gonna be
Shiny, the
better.
shiny guy.
Yeah,
The
but
shiny
that's
guy.
exactly what I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
thinking.
Yeah, the shiny guy. The shiny guy
The
is most
whole
likely.
catch 'em all
But,
and
um,
get a rival out of it.
But
just
another
seems
thing
boring.
is Koharu doesn't even have a dream yet. So depending on
Actually,
what her
could be
dream is
that.
gonna be, we have to
I have
see.
a feeling she.
As
I-
long
I
as
feel
as
she
long as
could
Cole
be
doesn't
that.
become a battler, I'm fine.
But yeah, going back to like all the sort this anime, like in regards to like promoting Galar, if you think about it, Ash has no reason to go to Wedgehurst at all.
Mm-hmm.
He has no. The only way I could see Ash going to Wedgehurst is them doing the basic thing. It's like, oh, I need you to go deliver this to Professor Magnolia. in
Which is
Galar.
most likely what it's gonna be.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so
You gotta
again,
deliver the
going
Mega
back to the
Ring
whole
to this location. Why do they need
Also,
Mega?
speaking of Wedgehurst, I I like the fact that I like post game characters, but I don't like the fact that they don't show up in the series like Zinnia and whatever. But in regards to Swordward and Shieldbird, I hope they
No.
don't show up. I really
No.
hope they don't show
I
up.
actually
The
made,
memes
I
are gonna be
made,
so
I
bad.
I made a
The
prediction
memes,
actually that
though.
one of them will be in the
I can
Masters
see
8.
joke rivals.
But yeah, I definitely, yeah, like if you think about it, Ash has like there's no reason at all for any of the Galar characters to be relevant besides Leon.
Basically.
And that's the problem with Journeys is because they could have easily just they didn't even have to put like Magnolia in it. They could have easily just put Cerise's lab and them from Galar instead of putting it in Kanto. The reason they put it in Kanto is because it's Kanto. And
I'm still sad that Ash's Pokemon aren't in the Cerise lab.
I'm fine with that.
I keep here's the thing. Here's the thing I keep saying with that. It's the same reason why Ash left his Alola Pokemon in Alola. Oak's lab is their home. It's been their home for years, even though Ash is still 10. So just moving their home like that wouldn't really feel right, you know?
Okay, that makes sense. Bulbasaur being the
And-
leader in a new household,
Yeah,
it would be
actually,
dynamic
It'll be
shifting.
the Toy Story 4
One
treatment.
thing
It'll
I'll
be the
say.
Toy Story
One
4
thing I'll say,
treatment.
and
Where
here's
would the Taurus
What?
go?
Yeah,
well, actually,
yeah.
I think, yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah, the Toros, like it would be a lot of conflict.
You're gonna cause too much comment just for continuity, and I prefer.
Well,
Yeah.
not only that, but it goes a little bit deeper than that. See, and this also kind of goes into the problem of what you guys just mentioned, being the fact that one of the main problems is the fact that the Sakuraki research lab is in Kanto, when in reality it would have made more sense for it to be in Galar anyways, because how easy would it have been if Oak just said, Ash, I need you to go to Galar because one of my old colleagues are there is studying a new phenomenon. And it's like it would have been so easy, but now that it's in Kanto, there's so many
much harder.
questions going. It's a little harder, but also there's a lot of questions of, well, if the lab is going to be in Kanto, why not just have it take place always in
Also an
Oak's
issue-
lab?
That's an issue with if they were in Galar. Here's the thing. I feel like them being based in Kanto is perfect because the whole purpose of the series is just, I guess, mostly focused on Galar, but they're also tackling other plots from other games. Kanto doesn't really have that much story that they can tackle, so
yeah, I guess
it'd be like
it's
they're based.
a
The
good-
most
Can't
story-
we-
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. I understand that. It's
Say
just
they
I'm
that.
saying
were-
from a Galar perspective. Like
If they
we're
were
saying-
in Galar, then they would probably
No, yeah, okay.
So much-
Like I can see that where if they had to have the lab in Kanto, that's fine. But again, it's still the whole situation of why not just have it at Oak's lab? And if the reason is because we can't have Oak in the show all the time, then it could just be, oh, Ash, I need you and I need you to help this researcher who's gonna be staying at my lab for a while I'm off in the world traveling, handling some important
On
professor
vacation.
stuff with your mother. I don't
Poetry.
freaking know.
No,
Goes
he's
on
going.
vacation.
He's going on a poet. He's going to do the Pokemon Poetry Championships.
Oh,
Yes, exactly. Like something like that. But again, it makes that could still make sense as stupid as it is.
It makes sense because in game, Oak has a house in Eterna, so there's that.
Wait,
He journeys
does?
the world as well.
He
I
has
can
a
see-
house in almost every freaking region. Of course, it makes sense.
He's the richest man in the world.
I could see. I could.
He
I
has-
could see, for
He
example,
has family in Alola. You're telling me this guy can't travel around the world and be like, "Oh, Samson, I need a place to stay. You mind if I crash?"
I just
No,
know.
but-
It's just like,
oh my goodness.
no, also.
Yeah, but I
speaking
can
of Oak, where's
imagine. I can only imagine Pokemon Journeys beginning and Oak is saying, "Tracy, you're fired. I will hire Cerise to be in my lab while I travel the world."
Oh
I
yeah.
want to point out. I want to point out.
Hey, don't do Tracy dirty like that.
I want to point out.
Yo,
there's a-
actually, you know what? That is another situation where it's like,
there is-
I
there
guess
is-
I
there
know
is
it's
one
not
thing-
again.
There is
Well-
one thing that I hope that it happens. Both Oak and Sycamore studied under Rowan, but Oak taught Cerise, Elm, and Willow. If Willow and the Go Rocket admin Sierra, Arlo, and Cliff show up in Pokemon Journeys, best show. I can
Yeah,
see.
yeah. I want to point out this was a
Yeah,
solo
I
episode
was
review, and
saying,
every
like-
tangent is so
Yeah,
much
but
different
going back
stuff.
Oh yeah.
But going back to the whole Oak conversation, there is one other Oak who's been missing since Generation 4.
Gary.
A grand.
Where is
Grand.
freaking Gary Oak?
He's the
Grand.
Viridian gym leader.
Don't forget Grando. We need Grando.
Well, actually, that once again, that is a very interesting thing because it's actually very funny that you mentioned that because of the fact that there's one other aspect that we need to look at the show now more than ever, where is the fact that aside from any other show, this is the one Pokemon show that seems to really be pushing the idea that this could possibly be Ash's
It's
final
fine.
journey.
How many times?
because
How many times have we heard that
obviously-
so many times?
Obviously, whenever the words, because this has been a thing for generations now, where whenever the words are uttered, is this Ash's final journey? Because this isn't the first time this topic is brought up. There's been
Generation
multiple
4.
series
Generation
where
6,
that's been
Generation
brought up.
6.
But the thing is that with this specific series, the fact that the show really seems to be pushing this, there are other questions now that people are curious about, and not just meme joke questions like, "Oh, who's Ash's dad?" We don't know, and we're probably never gonna know. So shut up.
It's
But with that in mind, yeah, but it's like
I say we
a
give up.
genuine, but also genuine character-related questions, and also like important things that are close to Ash as a character that are a question that maybe should be at least brought up is, well, what's gonna where is Gary? What's he doing? What's
Because,
gonna
like-
happen to Team Rocket once this is
Yeah.
done? Because that's another thing.
I have,
that's
I have,
another thing
something,
that's
I have
about.
something to say about Team Rocket. It's because they are in the Pokemon Go games now, right? And they have that Celebi side quest in Pokemon Masters.
That's focused
Um,
on the movie. That's focused on the alternate universe stuff.
I can
Yeah,
see,
exactly.
yeah, okay, but that could be from the AU continuity. But I can see Coco being their future kid because Coco has the Jesse's hair and James' eye collar.
Oh my
I can
goodness.
see Coco being like Jesse
Yeah,
and
but
You're
James'
just asking
future
for
kid.
you're just asking for a fanfic to
God,
happen.
no.
All
But
right,
like,
make the
yeah,
fanfic.
and,
Okay,
it's
one
just-
day.
but going back to the
No.
whole,
One day,
like Gary
there's-
Oak,
James
that's-
decided
I've
to
never
quit
heard-
Team Rocket.
I have never heard a bigger stretch in Pokemon history than freaking. You know what? No. You want to know how big that stretch is? If you guys were on Twitter and you saw that little thing between me, PokeRaf, and this other guy on Twitter recently when they released that Espeon thing, and this is a real story.
Oh,
This happened
boy.
like earlier today.
no.
Did you guys see what we did?
I
Where
didn't.
Yeah.
this one fan
I did
is
not.
like, wait, Espeon is hanging out next to water? That means that Greninja's come back. And then my response to that is, you
What?
fool. No. Here's the
That's
thing.
fucking up.
My response was, you fool. You're not seeing the big picture. It's not only is Espeon hanging out next to water, but it's hanging out, laying down on a rock that's next to a patch of grass. You know what that means? It's not just Ash Greninja. It's gonna be Lycanroc and Sceptile.
Oh
They're
my
all
God.
coming.
No, wait. Ash and Go are walking. That means that means Crocodile's coming back. They're walking on the
Exactly.
ground. Oh my God.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
breathing hair. Pidgeot's coming back.
Hey,
Like sometimes a show is just doing a thing for the sake of the thing, and we shouldn't really look too deep into it. The only thing that I could see, and I know that certain other PokeTubers might disagree with me on this, and that's fine. The only thing that I could say could give any hints on whatever Pokemon, not just a particular Pokemon, because I know this has been done to death. The only things that I could ever see. Exactly. The only thing that I can think of seeing when it comes to any Pokemon or characters coming back that you could look at it and be like, you know what, this is a viable theory, is like the merchandise. If you see a merchandise thing, then it's both ways, where it's like, okay, again, because I know it's a super popular topic, I know Greninja, but just because I don't want to annoy people with Greninja, let's say
let's say
Bro,
September.
I have an
Let's say,
idea.
or no. You know what? A more viable one right now. Let's say Lycanroc. Okay,
Alright.
because where they show a toy of Lycanroc, and then in the end credits of the show now, you see Lycanroc hanging out with freaking Grookey and Riolu. So I think that's fine to make speculations. But goodness gracious, I've seen people
They're next to
really,
water.
really reach. Like I've seen people really reach out for this stuff. And
Ash
I'm
and
sorry,
again,
you gotta say.
Ash and
And
Gold.
again,
Hey, hey, hey.
yeah, and again, I'm not like other people who make fun of it for the sake of making fun of it. Like where it's like I am a fan of
I make
Ash
fun of
Greninja.
XY.
I am a
make fun
fan
of
of
XY so
XY
much.
and Alola and all that other stuff. I'm a fan of those. And
I like
whether or not
every
you like it, that's
series.
fine. The thing I like every series. And would it make me happy for things to come back? Yes, of course. Especially now if they are trying to promote that this could be Ash's final series. In my opinion, they should bring back as many things as possible, not just Pokemon. I mean, yes, more importantly, Pokemon, because the name of the franchise is Pokemon, not characters. But like what I'm saying
Characters, the
is,
series X and
they
Y.
should bring stuff. They should bring stuff back, but they should make it make sense. That's the thing.
Exactly.
So that's why
and
I
that
don't
is why
think-
there's about where when we were discussing about Gary, because Gary became a researcher. That's the thing that Ash and Go are, right? In a way, because
Yeah.
I can see Ash and Go returning home, and Go is the one that makes the paperwork because Ash cannot fill reports as in Saw and Alola.
What paperwork? He
But I
clearly did anything in that school.
What?
I can see Ash and Go having to do some reports, and Gary joins in. And if merchandise shows a Blastoise toy, I can see people saying, "Oh, Gary's going to have Gigantamax Blastoise."
Oh gosh. I mean, well, the thing. Okay. So again,
Before you start, who was saying the whole Ash is Giovanni's son or something like that?
That was a
Oh, that's
joke.
stupid.
No,
That was a joke.
I know that it was a joke, but imagine if they pull
I mean,
off
there
that.
is some evidence for it, though. There
Oh my
actually is
goodness.
solid
That-
evidence.
that's
for
from
it,
the
too.
musical.
no. I'm not listening to
The
you.
musical and mistranslations.
All of the letters.
Also,
I mean, they did date. They
all
did
of
date.
if
Just
Ash,
saying.
if Ash was Giovanni's, if Ash was Giovanni's son, that would mean that he would be Silver's half brother.
Let's not go
Yeah,
into that
okay.
conversation.
Yeah, let's not go into
Yeah,
that.
let's
Let's focus back on Pokemon Journeys. Okay, so
Wait,
going
what's
back
that?
to the show though.
Let's get
Going back to
actual
the show,
episode
the show that
itself.
we're focusing on. Freaking okay. One thing I will say is when looking at it, like I mentioned before, if a character or a Pokemon has come back, it's because something makes sense that is connected to the story
The next
of certain
one, they're just coming
characters.
back.
So it's like, okay, so like Gary, for example, you guys mentioned Gary. Gary makes a lot of sense because, yes, he is also a researcher, and it would make sense if one episode, he is the character who probably makes the most sense come back right now, just due to the fact that as a researcher, literally any episode can call him in and just be like, oh, we needed help with a certain Pokemon research that we're doing, so we called from our friends over in frickin' Sinnoh or wherever the frickin' heck Gary is right now, and just being like, and it's like, smell you later. This region, I'm gonna be
there, Ashy boy.
or
No, I
something
just,
like that. Yeah,
yeah,
And
I
it's
just
like,
don't understand because from generation 1 to 4, Ash was always in contact with Gary, even if they were like far apart. And then in Black and White, Ash is like, "Who's Gary?"
well, not who is this, but it is weird. It is
Why
weird that.
You know what I meant. I was
Well, but-
exaggerating.
No, I get it. It's just I feel like that's always been one of my main problems when it comes to like Black and White and forward, where it's like certain aspects of continuity really seem to betray the story, which
The
really
moment
downplays it.
Ash exited Japan, continuity broke.
Exactly.
He went to the States and went, "Woo."
I mean, not even that. It's just not even that. It's just more of the whole thing of just like Ash not knowing what a certain Pokemon is, or Ash not remembering a certain experience with a certain trainer that really should have been prevalent in a certain situation. Like freaking, you're telling me
You're telling me that it's like in these in like for example that one episode that they went to Sinnoh and they see freaking Krogunk and Piplup. You're telling me it wasn't easy for Ash to say something as simple as, I'm familiar with these two Pokemon. And he didn't even have to say. He doesn't even have to say.
I have
Oh,
friends who have these
friends.
Pokemon.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
at that point, that would just be
like he could
forced.
just say something as simple as, "I'm familiar with these Pokemon," or "I know these Pokemon," and that's it. It's a weird thing that I know the show, and that's one of the reasons why me personally. I
The
tend to be
Yolo
very-
episode had a Cyndaquil, so there's that.
I don't even know anymore. It really is just a whole thing of I understand that the show is many aspects of the show are the biggest things to be excited for the show, and also the biggest things that really mess with the show.
Yeah, because
yeah.
I feel like something I learned about Pokemon is that a lot of the anime community gets themselves way too hyped up and really
Yeah.
stretches things out.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
Say what's an example of this is, oh, do you guys remember in Sun and Moon, with the Ultra Beast episode where they put on the performance, and then Kukui was like, hey, they want you to put on another performance. I was like, oh my god, they said performance, Serena's coming back.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly.
Oh,
Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
Yeah, and I was
It
like,
gets
In,
no,
in
it's
regards
not.
in regards to continuity, I can see like Mirina was saying before, like not saying that Ash knows people who has this Pokemon, but for example, just little tidbits like Go struggling to take care of his Pokemon. For example, my Butterfree is like, oh, I can have this. How do you know? Oh, I used to have a Butterfree. Simple as that. Or imagine like Go catching that cider. How can I do it? Try this and that, and he caught cider. How do you know? Oh, I have a friend who has cider. Like there is no
Like whatever it is. Like it doesn't have to be constant because I know that that's gonna end up being annoying and redundant. It doesn't always have to be the case. Like I had
but
no
showing
problem.
that Ash knows
But-
these Pokemon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right.
it's just a weird thing that I know for a fact that Pokemon, when it really matters, then yeah, they'll probably try to put some form of continuity. But then when it doesn't, they just don't put that work into it. Like,
Do
I
you
don't
guys
think they
remember?
would
Do you
go-
guys remember
I don't-
in the bug catching episode that cut away with Pidgeot? Everyone started to speculate that Pidgeot in the Battle Frontier Island, y'all.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's just ridiculous. Yeah.
No, if you guys look and see
I
what I put in
do
the chat, I
feel-
said,
Yeah.
Ash looked in the sky, Pidgeot's coming back.
Yeah, I see it. That's really funny. Okay, real quick, just because, and I'll say it's probably my fault. I feel like we're trying to talk about this episode, and we went on the biggest tangents.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
To be
no,
fair,
no,
everything
no,
happened in
I
this
have
episode.
I have
We're changing,
something.
we're changing the title of the future of Pokemon.
We went from talking about solid Pokemon Poetry World Championships.
I'll come in with a title, but long
No,
story
no,
short, I say we give our final
I-
thoughts
Go ahead.
because
I have
we
a-
still have
I
a
have a-
movie.
I have a topic.
We got a
I-
movie review to do.
I
by the
actually
way.
do.
Yeah,
I actually
we
do
got
have a topic that will. I actually do have a topic that will bring us back to talking about this particular episode, and it is. This is a very, and I admit that this is a very, very unpopular opinion. So I
Ooh,
apologize.
I love unpopular opinions.
You
Okay.
ain't XYZ.
So I apologize to anyone who gets upset. I see that we have 9 people watching the stream now, so I'm not going to be surprised if it's 0. But, but, I, for one, do not have the biggest problem with Team Rocket's gotcha machine.
Neither do I.
Wow.
Neither do
I
I.
don't
Neither
think
do I.
it's that bad a thing.
I don't
I'm just.
Yeah.
I just don't
As
care.
someone
anymore.
It's a way to show old Pokemon.
And
No,
they
it's
do
not even
this-
that. It's not even that. It's not even that. Like here, I'll
just
explain
funny.
maybe the thing. It's not. Again, it's not even that either. It's just the fact that here's the thing. I will admit that it does mess a few things up for Team Rocket as characters in certain ways, and then in other ways it also makes them interesting. So let me explain why. Let me explain the bad first. The bad thing about the Gotcha Machine is the fact that, sad to say, I don't think we're gonna have genuine
genuine connections between Team Rocket and their Pokemon. Sad to say, because the fact that Team Rocket doesn't own the Pokemon themselves, automatically that kind of means that the only connection they're gonna ever have is amongst each other and not the Pokemon that
so
they capture.
it's gonna be like a reverse. It's gonna be like a reversal of Go. Like Team Rocket doesn't have none, and Go has too much.
Kinda, yeah. If in a way, that's kind of what it is, where it's like, because these Pokemon are always gonna be Pokemon of the week,
Rentals.
except I guess maybe Choodle, maybe. But even then, we haven't seen Choodle in forever, so I don't think so.
I can see an
But-
episode. I can see an episode of Jesse and Choodle trying to win a model contest, and the rival is Nessa and her Dreadnought.
Oh my
That would be
goodness.
hilarious.
That would be funny, yes,
that
but
would-
Yeah,
again,
we get more of a
we have
effort.
the thing is, we don't know if Choodles come back. That's the situation. Like,
sad.
or we don't know if. So that's the biggest problem with the Gacha machine, where it's just we lose that aspect of Team Rocket of them having character development episodes, because usually their character development episodes are connected to their Pokemon. The only other way that I can see them having character development episodes was during that vacation episode where they were helping Ash and Go. But I don't think they're gonna be doing that all the time, unless that's something that the show's trying to hint at. That's the thing. Now, that's the bad thing. The good thing about the gacha mechanic that I like, and again, it's not as big as the bad thing. That's what I'll say. It's not as big as the bad thing. I do know, and I agree that it is a bit of a problem because of this. But the good thing that I like, and this is why I feel like it's an unpopular opinion, is because I actually like it when Team Rocket seems competent. I like it when it feels like they're going to beat Ash. And so far, every time they've battled Ash, they have given him a problem this season.
Yeah.
Or
that's fair.
so because of the fact that it's like,
That's my problem.
okay, yeah. So Shiny,
It
In the
shows
chat, though.
it shows their
in the
growth
chat,
and
Shiny,
it shows
Shiny
their growth.
Zoroark.
It shows their growth and competence, and like, oh, they can now battle with Pokemon that they are not even theirs.
Well, no, I don't think that's what it is right now. I don't think it's growth and competent. I think it's just they've been Pokemon trainers for a while, so they know the simplicities of, hey, tell this Pokemon to do this move. So no, sadly, I don't think it has anything to do with their competence as trainers. It's just
The
That's
Rocket
just a
Balls
basic
have the
thing.
tickets with the move, so there's that.
yeah, that's the thing. The papers come out telling them this is the Pokemon, this is what it could do. That's all
Same
it
thing
is.
with
So
Go.
It's the instruction manual.
No.
okay,
Just
wait,
Go.
wait, wait. Okay, so
Scan-
Shiny Zoroark. So Shiny Zoroark,
stop
he's
with me.
he's saying how in the chat where Team Rocket has reverted to garbage OSDP version, which
I'll say that.
I want to say that.
can
Maybe
see
I
that.
like Team Rocket around that era.
I feel like Team Rocket in
I
this
would have to
series are similar to their Sun
Would have
and
to
Moon, as
disagree.
in like comedy.
no, when it comes to the best versions of Team Rocket, and again, this is just my opinion. If
Early
anyone disagrees,
Beatle.
that's fine. The number one version of Team Rocket will always be Sun and Moon Team Rocket, in my opinion. But the second Team Rocket that I like, the second like version of Team Rocket that I really like, believe it or not, is Black and White Team
I
Rocket.
knew it. I knew it.
Not-
Yeah, I agree.
Because they
I
were
don't-
competent.
I don't like that.
They were genuine villains, and I like
Okay.
I
that.
actually got
Big
scared
I
of
was
question,
getting
Team
though.
tired of the
Rocket.
What
whole.
happened,
Okay.
what happened to Pierce?
I liked them in the Meloid arc. I didn't like them in the very beginning.
No. You
Like,
wanna
you
know?
don't
No,
know how it
no.
would have ended.
No. You want to know? You want to know what the best Team Rocket arc when it comes to Black and White was? And I feel like no one talks
The
about this
Subway.
enough.
The
Subway
subway.
one?
The
Subway.
freaking Subway arc.
The
The
Meow
Subway arc, yes.
No.
I have to say the
And
best
Meow
part of
that-
Team
one,
Rocket
isn't it?
were after they changed out of their back into their normal uniforms, but before the Chlora. Like that was when Team
Yeah.
Rocket the best. was
Not only
good.
that, no. Not only that. And look, I'm about to rant for a second, so forgive me. But this is
All right.
something that's always bothered me, where it's like, bruh, I hate the fact that we didn't get to see a little bit more of what happened after Meowth betrayed Ash. Because keep in mind, we've had episodes, not even like one episode or so. No, we've had a buttload of episodes where Ash is now, where Meowth is now a genuine companion of Ash.
Iris
he was
tried,
I actually
Iris
like
tried
that.
to
for
cut
a
him.
while.
Iris
He
tried to
was
cut
with him, and he was with them for a while.
It
and
was
I
like 10
love that.
episodes. It was like 10
I know, yeah,
episodes, I
yeah.
think.
So it was for a while, and the fact that freaking when Meowth finally betrays him and joins Team Rocket again, and that's the whole thing. And then literally the next time they see them, it's just, oh, it's Team Rocket and it's their same shenanigans. And I'm like, what?
One thing I
No,
don't
Ash,
get.
you should be angry.
I was.
It
I
was
was
five.
about to mention-
It was 5
Just
I was about
episodes.
to mention. Let me say something. I remember that episode actually. I remember Team Rocket were about to leave off the train because like their mission failed. So, but before that, Ash was like, "Yo, Meowth, even though you betrayed us, it was kind of cool having you around." I'm like, Ash, the man almost betrayed you. Almost stole Pikachu.
Ash, stop being so nice.
This why I
No,
don't like
no,
Sun
no.
and Moon.
Ash was like, Meowth, you were a prick, but you were a cool prick.
You tried to betray us and kill us. I got respect for
Yeah,
you,
you were
homie.
kind of an asshole, but like.
At least
pretty
Meowth
cool.
didn't try to kill him like Lysander and Hunter J did.
Let's do this again next
I
series,
get that.
buddy.
It's just no. The thing is, okay, so Samurai Trainer Z, yeah, you have a good point. Like Black and White was a missed opportunity for that because I just feel like that was the quintessential point of Team Rocket being interesting
I'm
because
telling
of
you,
that. That
if we got
I've never felt more intimidated and more impressed of Team Rocket than at that moment, and then they became boring again, and then they
I
didn't
have
become
to
interesting
say-
again until around Sun and
But
Moon,
if-
but for different reasons. Because with Sun and Moon,
And
Sun and
sadly,
Moon
because
is Team Rocket's show. I don't care what people say. Sun and Moon is Team Rocket's show because
almost
that's where they
everyone
were the
likes
most
Sun
funny,
and Moon Team
and
Rocket.
that's where they were the most likable.
I like is that they weren't
But-
following Ash.
If
Like,
we
they were doing
got-
their
Yes,
own thing.
that's another thing.
If we got Team Rocket
They
versus Team
battled in
Plasma,
the league.
everything. If we
They-
just got, that freaking earthquake never happened, people could be looking back at Best Wishes as one of the
Yeah.
best.
Only like
Mhm.
the best
I
is
mean,
like,
we still
I'm-
remember the first 20
I'm-
episodes, like the Snivy, the
Yes.
freaking not catching Pokemon. Like that stuff still happened before the earthquake, though. That's the
I
thing.
know, but I'm
Team Rocket
saying,
stuff,
though,
Trey.
The story would have been, but with in my personal opinion, Team Plasma and Black and White 1 is way better than Neo Team Plasma, in my personal opinion. So I would have liked to see.
I like the idea.
Sadly.
I like
One
the
thing,
idea.
okay, one thing I will say is
sadly, yeah.
no, one thing that I will say is with Black and White, and then let's move it back to the to episode 28 discussion. But like one thing I will say with that is just the fact that like I think we can all agree. One thing that we were definitely cheated out on was that battle between Charizard and freaking
Yes.
Reshiram. That would have been dope, but it never happened.
Yep.
You lied to us.
All right.
They lied.
I wanna say something right here, right now. Okay.
Alright.
I think it's time for us to wrap things up for the episode segment because I'm checking the time and oh boy, we've been on this episode for like an hour and a
I want
half.
okay, so I want for Misty and Lana to return to see Sobble at least, please.
No. Only Lana specifically because she's best girl. Misty could go swim off the sea.
Oh,
Yeah, we do got to get the heroes.
Okay, so before we move
Quick,
on,
real
let's-
quick though.
ratings.
Yeah,
Yeah, rate the episode, folks. We're gonna start one by one.
final ratings.
6 out of 10. I'd say 6 out of 10,
Yeah,
5 out of 10.
but yeah, no, it's
6 out of
just
10, yeah.
but yeah,
think
that's
6
the
out.
solid.
6 is a
Six
good.
out of 10 for
This is
Oh,
the
wait,
weaker
6
part
out
of
of
the
10 for-
Galar two-parter.
Wait, 6 out of 10 for what?
The
The
episode.
episode,
for-
like,
for
what do you
the
rate it? From 1 to being the worst, or 10
Oh,
being the
for
greatest?
this episode,
Yeah.
I'd say, I'd say around like 5 or 6 out of 10. It's just
I
It
cannot
wasn't
rank
that-
higher than 6.
One thing I do got to say before we go is it's sad. I had a whole episode focused to Sobble. We all didn't like it. I had
gotta
like
say-
Hold on, I get
5 to 10 minutes.
my rating.
Guys,
Farfetch.
I gotta say,
We
this
love
episode
it.
was. I gotta say, this episode was kind of a tearjerker.
Little Izzy, did you give your
Man.
rating for this episode? By the
I-
way,
I do want to make sure that to remind everyone in the chat though, hey guys, make sure to subscribe.
Oh,
Thank
okay, we
you.
need to stop now. before
all
this
right.
gets
Yeah.
Now
out of
for me, this episode gets a 10 out of 10.
And I just want to say something because before I leave, because of the whole Sobble being a starter, but Riolu being treated like one, and everyone is hated Farfetch or were indifferent. There is one thing that you should think about. It's just personal thoughts of mine, but Ash saw how Leon changed the move set against Raihan, right?
Yeah.
And
We
and
mentioned that
Trey,
last
and
week.
Trayman and Trayman pointed something out on Twitter because when the Farfetch evolves, it learns Iron Defense, and Duraludon used that, correct? I think it was Trayman that mentioned that on Twitter.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
mentioned
okay.
that last week.
Yeah, so there is this thing that I can see. It's Ash setting up a team to defeat Leon because I can see something, for example, Dragapult versus Gengar, Axorus versus Dragonite, I don't Lucario maybe versus the starter that Leon has, Pikachu with Charizard to the GMX finale.
I don't want
Surfetch
another
is
freaking gimmick for
Surf-
Nali. I didn't like that. Something.
Surfetch is
Surfetch
interesting
versus Aegislash. They both have
because
swords and
yeah,
shield.
yeah, because Surfetch, if he has for Galarian Farfetch, from what I saw versus Riolu, having dark types, it's to hint that Riolu will have Justify because that prankster ability make double team being super fast because it's a priority move, a status priority move. So I can see Surfetch having the Scrappy ability, so the fighting will beat the steel and the dark will beat the ghost, so it will be like a sword and shield duel between Surfetch and Aegislash.
That'd be dope.
I get that, but that we have to see what they do with that first because it's a good theory, but I don't know if. Here's the sad truth. I'm not sure if Pokemon. No offense, Pokemon. I don't know if Pokemon is smart enough to do that. So let's
I don't
see.
even have the feeling that they're gonna give Leon the same
No,
moves.
I know
same
that, but
team.
I could see, for example, Aegislash in battle choreography. I could see Aegislash using King's Shield and Surfetch using Iridium Fence and basically charging an